weebs? Welcome to Weeaboots, the only contemporary anime review podcast here on GigaBoots.com. I'm your host, Anime Danime, and with me, as usual, is Bob.
Hey, guys.
From GigaBoots, Dr. Aggro.
Come on.
From Twitter. And Chris Wolfhart.
Paul Penis.
We're here to talk about Tekken, the anime, the Netflix.
It's actually got a name this time. It's not just the Netflix.
That is true. That is true. It actually is just called Tekken Bloodline.
Triangle Shadow. Bloodline. What? It's not Triangle Shadow?
No, it's not. The Tekken Bloodline, the 6-episode Netflix series. Very excited to talk about it, but before we do, did you know podcasts like this are only possible via your support over on patreon.com/gbpodcast? Chris Wolfhart, do you have any idea what sort of things they might expect over there?
Well, if you contribute to us at patreon.com/gbpodcast, you will get early access to Chugging Bleach, our Bleach review podcast. We're going to review all of Bleach. You'll get extended armchair dev pitches and game premonitions. 2 shows we do that sometimes have to have segments cut due to the cruel format, and a patron-exclusive show 1 a month where you get to vote on what good or bad thing we have to watch and talk about. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast, and if you don't have any money, it always helps us immensely to simply spread the word.
Thank you very much, Chris. You know, we're here to talk about Tekken Bloodline, but before we get to that, Bob.
What's up?
Who made this?
The director on this is Yoshikazu Miyao.
Can you spell that?
It's Miyao.
Okay, meow, like meow. Okay,
Yeah. I know. It sounds fake, right? But
I was like, there's no way he's not murdering this.
he directed Maji Adventure of Sinbad and a bunch of Inazuma 11.
Oh.
So he's been in it for a while. And the production companies are Larks Entertainment, which the only show they've directly produced before this is the Kengan Ashura show, also for Netflix.
No shit. No shit.
And they did CG animation for the Cyborg 009 movie called Re-Cyborg.
Oh.
And Gundam The Origin OVAs. And Fate, Kylie, Liner, Prisma, Ilia.
Yeah.
And it's worked on by them and another studio, Studio Hibaru, who's apparently been around since 1979.
Yeah, Hibaru's been around for a while.
And just done a ton of small things on a lot of shows, but they themselves are responsible for production of Nerima Daikon Brothers.
Yep, that's why I know him.
God damn it.
Ninjala.
One Weeaboots. Just one.
No, never
Nope,
escaping him. And Duel Masters. They did like all the seasons of Duel Masters.
Wow.
Ooh, that's like 800 episodes based on what I learned.
Right?
Jesus. So once again, this is 6 episodes working out to about 3 hours of content. Maybe it's a feature-length film, but big if you take out the flashbacks.
Basically.
Through this series, you watch as Jin Kazama goes from Jin Kazama to pissed off.
You watch Tekken 3. You watch Tekken 3.
It is so Tekken 3, I think. Let's just get straight into it. I think this is a really great way to introduce people to the world and lore of Tekken.
I hope they do more. I would certainly like Tekken, because I don't know what the fuck happens in Tekken 4, 5, 6.
Right? I especially don't know 4.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people skipped it. Like,
I think Kazuya shows up with some goons and takes over the Mishima Zaibatsu.
that's what the arcade intro looked like.
Yeah, that is literally also what I know it for.
At some point, Jinpachi Mishima shows up, I think.
That's
That's
5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that they reference him in this. I didn't expect that at all.
No, that's good. As a Tekken fan, I feel pretty well fed by the show.
I cannot tell you how joyful I was when they were like, oh, they made a Tekken anime. I'm like, oh. And then I saw Ogre.
I know.
Yes.
I was like, oh shit, that's Ogre. There's no way.
It so often it feels like these aren't just direct retellings of the games that are done well. Like, that doesn't feel like the case when we get an anime of a fighting game a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like we
100%.
usually get...
almost all like animes based on games are terrible, in fact.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was talking to Xeon about this, and fighting games specifically. Like, when you make a Street Fighter anime, like, the guys who are making it go to the video game company, like, go to Capcom, and they're like, okay, so what are these people all street fighting about? You go to remake Tekken, it's like, oh yeah, Heihachi Mishima is throwing the King of Iron Fist tournament. Like, wow, that sounds like an event you can make a narrative about.
Wow.
It sounds like you have oversight too. It's unlike freaking everything Capcom brings to Netflix.
They go to Namco and fucking Harada's just like, it's about family.
It's so crazy. Can we, like, this is an aside, but it's so insane to me how we always have the most dog shit movie adaptations of fighting games when it's like, dude, Enter the Dragon already exists. Just make it again with these characters.
That's why the first Mortal Kombat movie's great.
Exactly.
It's a fucking tournament. It's like bottom tier entertainment. The blueprint exists.
Yeah, no, this has been done a billion times, but for some reason all these adaptations won't do it. It's very strange. I honestly believe this might be the best video game anime adaptation of a video game. It's fantastic that it stays faithful.
That's not a super high bar,
it's
but it's
not.
Yes,
but it's delightful as a moment. You know, as the people who've watched so many Capcom Netflix projects, it feels fucking great to come in here and just be like, oh, we're getting hype story. We're getting cool things that are faithful to the original. We're getting all these characters we
cool
like.
Moves.
Some of them are getting deleted off screen.
It's moving briskly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was thinking how the Blaze Blue anime is pretty good, but even it hits its stumbles and often looks worse than this.
Yeah. I'm also surprised this doesn't look bad most of the time. Like, being a fully CG anime, I kind of expected it to look...
Is it fully CG? There's definitely parts that look like
there are shots that are 2D for sure. But almost everything's CG.
A lot of the stuff that's moving is 3D CG. I remember thinking during it like, oh man, CG in 3D in anime has come a long way. It finally looks like 2011 Digipaint anime.
See, I was just like, well, this fits perfectly for Tekken. Like, you can't really sell juggling someone with electric wind god fist with only 2D animation. You need CG for that.
Yeah, I do think it really helped because, of course, they have all the movesets from the games that they get to use.
So good. I clapped so many times.
Yeah, I was astonished by how much every single fight is just, this could have been in the game.
Yeah.
Directly. I loved every time we saw Zhao Yu be like, Phoenix stance and be super annoying. I was like, thank you.
I had fucking like heart palpitations watching Zhao Lin. I'm like, terrible childhood memories.
When King puts Paul Phoenix in the Kaniku Buster,
yes,
I'm like, this animation must just be from one of the games because it's paced at the exact, like the weight, how fast it is. It's all exactly like a fighting game animation.
Also, there's like, I believe it was Ogre, but it might have been King as well. Just basically whips someone like a towel. And I was like, yeah, I remember that shit. This is real good. Oh man. Yeah, this is it's really stunning to watch any Netflix series of any length and feel like it's all thriller, no filler, because there's very little filler in this. Like I they do flashbacks a lot, but it's briskly moving. We didn't need to spend an outrageous amount of time. Like, what is he going to do between training and the tournament?
Yeah, there were some parts I wish had more even.
Yeah.
Like when he's doing the training and we see flashes of him going to school and stuff. It's like, you could have expanded that out a little bit. I want to see his introduction to Zhao Yu and to Horong.
I think 8 episodes would have been nice.
The first time they showed him in the high school uniform, I'm like, why is Heihachi letting him go to high school? And then they do the second shot, and I'm like, oh, so we can have Lin Zhao Yu.
Yes. Also, I'm losing it. Did that one report at that one point in the show just be like, Li Chaolan's being murdered by Ogre, we think?
He's gone missing, which I bet lines up with the Tekken timeline.
It probably does.
This is when he disappears and comes back as a violet.
Oh God!
I don't think you can fit this into Tekken because Hwarong's master, I think they say Ogre kills him in this, as well as the guy who trains Fang Rei, who also shows up in 5 or 7.
Yeah, but they could be. They just assume that Ogre killed them. Like, it's not confirmed for anyone. It's like, they've gone missing. We think Ogre got them.
Also, we do have Leroy Smith in this, which would be the largest. Wait a minute.
Right,
that was strange.
There's also the streamer girl. The streamer girl is also in this.
Julia Chang is actually supposed to be in pretty early.
Yeah.
She doesn't become streamer girl design until 7, though.
Oh, okay. She was first in Tekken 3. She was just in her she's just in her more modern design.
Yeah, they're like Julia Chang, and I'm like, the fuck she is? What?
but I think like backporting him Leroy into the lore is a cool idea.
No, it's really good, and I think it's super smart because it shows how they're aware. Like, the fighting game community fucking loved Leroy when he was unleashed.
Yeah, no, that was a great reveal. Like, probably one of the coolest new characters they've added in a long time. I hope we get the president of Finland in if they do another one of these. Because she's great.
Fuck, that would
be
rule.
so good.
I was a little disappointed that Gon didn't show up, but like, I get it. It's a licensing thing. I was super mad that they showed both Kuma and Yoshimitsu and then just ghosted them.
Yeah, it's like we're not going to make a 3D model. Nope.
It's a real shame. It's a real shame we didn't get to see those fights. Yeah, I think we could have dealt with 8 episodes. I think you're right. I think that would have been good to get a little bit extra, but at the same time, I do appreciate how lean this is, so I can't complain too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like you were saying, the only thing that really does feel kind of bad is how much they start flashing back near the end. It was like, yes, we get it. Those moments are important, but you just showed them.
Yeah.
You don't need to do the same flashback twice.
It's like, we know this happened. That's why it has meaning right now and weight to it. You don't need to flash back to explain that because it's kind of ruining the moment of me realizing this moment's happening. No, there's a lot of really great moments in this too. You get to see Heihachi deprogram Jin from being a Kazama.
Yes.
Which I did love that Heihachi, like he considers Jun from like, Jun Kazama. She was wise in her own way. It was like, yeah, this motherfucker knows.
I also really love the line of, nobody could say how the devil gene ended up in Kazuya. And I'm like, yeah, you definitely did fuck some crazy bitch.
This is not on you at all, I'm sure.
It must have been something in the water.
Heihachi at a certain point wants to look at the camera and go, did you hear me say Dr. Boskanovich yet? I want to make sure
yes, that
you
does
caught
happen
this
a couple
reference.
times.
That's really funny.
Me and Dan were talking about he's the most ripped he's ever been. Like, Heihachi is gigantic in this.
Yeah,
which
he's
is great.
enormous.
Which, I mean, I guess works because then it's like, well, of course, Jinpachi's that huge.
Right.
Heihachi's only slightly less huge. So when they cut to that, 2 series from now.
Mm-hmm.
One disappointment was the design. Mm-hmm. When he gets his trench coat business suit, it's not nearly tiger printed enough. It needs to be more flamboyant and ludicrous.
That's true. He's a really old Japanese CEO who's crazy and has way too much money. He should absolutely be the Heihachi-iest possible.
Heihachi, he is the best because he's that guy who's the bad guy, ostensibly, but then there's always a greater threat. So Heihachi's a little on side, like he's the devil
And half the times the greater threat are one of his children or grandchildren or his father.
So you get this beautiful arc in the anime where, Jin, he's the angry anime protag boy who grows up being trained in martial arts by his mother, who's always telling him, don't fight people. You need to show restraint. You need to control your anger. And then he grows up and to be a teenager and she dies and he gets to go live with Grandpa Heihachi, who's like, I'm going to make you a Sith. It's going to rule.
One part that's so weird is that she tells him to go to Heihachi. I understand that's the only viable way to survive, but it seems like exactly what you would never want him to do.
She's like, Gene, go find Eddie Gordo. He's in prison right now with some random old man who does a cool thing in the opening cutscene, but who we never address.
Look, I'm just saying, under normal circumstances, yes, absolute last thing she would want is for him to go to Heihachi. However, outside was Ogre?
Yes, that's true. You have the Ogre problem.
If you're going to kite Ogre to anybody.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm going to need you to crawl into a safe in Heihachi's corporate headquarters and just live there.
I like how Ogre got defeated by a propane tank. He wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I know. Also, Jin's really upset at Ogre for killing his mother, but it's like, it was a gas leak. Like, if you want to be real.
My mother was killed by a martial arts demon. Like, no, bro, it actually was a gas leak this time.
God. We got one Nina Williams fight. It was actually pretty good. She gave off some serious Sea Viper vibes as she's just shooting out electric charge hits. It's really good. I also appreciate, I think it's true to the core of Nina Williams. She just starts talking shit. And that's when she gets wrecked.
Yeah.
She's like, time for you to go, little girl.
I loved it from my perspective. Like, I think I've told the story before. Growing up, my brother and I had a Tekken 3 demo disc. Mm-hmm. And I would play Eddie Gordo and he would play Lin Xiao Yu, and those were the only characters on it. So my brother just fucking drilled Lin Xiao Yu, and she is the phantom that haunts my nightmares. So during that fight, when Jin and Huang are all like, "Oh no, Ling, no, she's in danger, she's too young," and I'm like, You don't fucking know, boy.
You don't know yet. You don't know.
Back off, man.
You're going to have to beg her to stop juggling the corpse.
Like, she's a killer. It's like, yeah, she's kind of tough. Like, no, she literally kills people for a living. It 100% great that that Xiao Yu has a line about using the money from the King of Iron Fist tournament to build a theme park.
Yeah, no, that's really good. She's like, and then I'll invite you and see if you stop being such serious assholes.
She needs a spin-off series where it's just fully animated in a regular anime style, like her outro in 5.
Like just a really low budget, like kids animation program from the 90s or 80s look.
I really love how Paul Phoenix looks in this.
It's so good.
It's like a jump scare.
He looks like they fused Polnareff with like Grandpa Joestar. That's how he looks in this specifically.
He's got serious America face.
Yes,
he does. It's like, okay, now it's come time again for the anime has to model a slightly older American man face. Oh, he looks 80.
Jin rolls up on him and he's got like a wine glass, and I'm like, which fucking Paul Phoenix is this?
Yeah, this isn't the original Paul Phoenix. He killed the original Paul Phoenix. He's just wearing his
It's funny
head.
how they keep going out like, no, Paul Phoenix is super tough. Heihachi says that like 4 times at different points.
It rules.
He's like, no, if Kazuya didn't have the devil gene, he'd have beat Kazuya's ass.
I know, that's so good.
it's really great. They could pump up a character who no one cares about, allegedly. But no, they're Paul Phoenix fans and they stand up.
Hell yeah.
I think he's like one of the most consistently high-ranking characters in like popularity polls.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, he's awesome. I really love them actually delivering on like the King lore. Like I think this would have been lesser if we didn't have the King lore explanation.
Yeah.
That rules. King is so fucking awesome.
Yeah, you can really tell this is written by someone who cares deeply about this universe.
Yeah. Yeah, you do not see adaptations with this level of love basically ever. I'm struggling to think of one.
It may be the greatest fighting game anime ever made.
Yeah.
And it was on Netflix.
I know. That's the
Yeah,
last
that's
place I would
stunning.
expect it after, the last year of Capcom projects.
I know. It's so weird because it's like, in the grand scheme of anime on Netflix, it is good outside of video game adaptations. I feel like we get a lot of amazing animes that only show up on Netflix, like Great Pretender and all sorts of things. Like every year, there's at least one like top 10 anime.
Yeah.
It's crazy that we've always just been like, no, the fighting games and other licensed properties are going to be trash.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of that is because by mass, it's mostly Capcom. And Capcom has shown they just, for whatever reason, don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, why is there not why do something like this with Street Fighter? Nobody knows the fucking Street Fighter story, like freaks like I do, but like a normal person doesn't.
Here's how we do it, okay? Here's how we ease Capcom's way into not being a part of dog shit on Netflix, okay? They do Tekken 5, and when they get to Tekken 5, they start introducing, yeah, Akuma is a part of the Tekken lore. That is a thing that happened in 7, and it's real.
I cannot express to you how much I want that.
Me neither, dude. It fucking rules.
Like I've never come to an adaptation like this and at the end gone, oh man, that was really good. Gunjack wasn't in it. We need more of this anime. Brian wasn't in it. We need more of this anime.
I know. I was like, when they introduced Dr. Bogdanovich, I was like, are we getting Jack or are we just jumping all the way to Lisa?
Or is Doc showing up and doing his like weird poison burp cripple foo?
Could you imagine?
You know,
God, unlocking Dr. B in Tekken 3 sucked.
If there was one character I could get rolled in early for the next one, say they go into 4, if for another season, I would want Dragunov just a little bit early. Dragunov's so good.
I mean, if we get any more of this, I demand Mokujin.
Yeah, that's fair. That's understandable.
And gone. Fuck y'all, make it happen. I know I was reasonable about the licenses before, but
they're like, we got Gon and Akuma, and you're like, okay, I can die now. We did it. We peaked as a society.
Like, Panda. I'm like, that's neat. Panda from 7. Oh, shit.
It's a fucking meme image. Slightly asleep, incredibly alert. Oh, fuck.
The spin-off series about Panda and Xiao Yu.
Oh, God. God, that would be good.
Oh my God, Zhao. I loved at the beginning of the episodes where they do that. Like, I can't remember how they phrased it. Like, who is it, Gene? Whose eyes do you see in your nightmares? And it's like Ogre, and then it's Kazuya, and then it's Heihachi, and then it's goddamn Ling Xiaoyu.
Yes,
it spoke to you.
Yeah, I'm like, this anime was made for me. Where the fuck is Eddie Gordo?
See, this is really great. We get to enjoy a couple more seasons, and then Lars shows up, and I'm happy, and no one else is.
Yep, no one else is happy.
Did we really need another Mishima, Dan?
Is Lars gonna wear the Naruto outfit from the DLC?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, if Lars shows up, I want that to also be the season Lee Chaolon comes back, and it's just
Honestly, I'm just really excited for Negan to show up.
oh god damn it.
Yeah, I saw that news about that actor's going to be in The Boys, and I'm like, cool, Tekken's going to get a character from The Boys.
Yeah, we got to get Homelander in Tekken 8. and then Heihachi just beats his ass.
It is a fighting game that is proven to be able to handle laser eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was one of the first super moves they put in that game.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I was a little disappointed that the end of this anime wasn't Devil Gene loading Heihachi into a helicopter so he could just drop his ass out.
Yeah, there's so many amazing endings in Tekken, and there's so many vignettes, and the characters are so interesting. They could literally run this show for so long, and they would just have great material to go with the whole time. Oh, man. I want to see Jinpachi so bad.
Yeah.
But
big fucking crystal Jinpachi.
But it's like slightly overridden by my desire to have somebody tell me the story of 4 so I don't have to play 4.
Yeah, I honestly, I really want to see what they could do as 4. See Jin's transition to traditional karate, how they handle that.
I mean, also as a guy who is a Kazuya main, I do want Kazuya in the flesh in the series.
Yes, Kazuya it's got an energy to him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like especially if they bring in Kazuya next, or maybe in a 3rd season, like you just count this as set up for when he comes,
and it's gonna be good because I will too.
like I love that because I was introduced to Tekken with 3, so I didn't know Kazuya or June. So when that anime with all the raptor punching happened, I was like, who the fuck are any of these people? So when I saw Kazuya in a game, I'm like, what is this, and why is it Evil Gene from the future and buffer?
Yeah, that's quite something, being buffer than Gene. Someone who already made so buff it seems unreasonable.
Yeah.
It is amazing because I think Capcom trying to get this quality out of any part of Street Fighter story might be harder than them just doing more, like Netflix doing more Tekken adaptations. Like, I love Street Fighter, but I feel like it is so much harder, maybe because of how many times I've seen it done poorly, to make a great story out of all these characters and these backstories and motivations.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but like Street Fighter, to do the story of Street Fighter, it would, because these characters aren't really connected, a lot of them. So you'd have to like pick one or a group of them to the exclusion of the others.
There's still usually a Street Fighter tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also like there have been good ones, like Street Fighter 2, the animation, and the Alpha movie were both pretty good.
And also the live action movie.
No.
And the American cartoon.
The American cartoon.
No.
And the story mode for
The American
5.
cartoon, the American cartoon was seemingly good enough for them to just use it as the basis for the story mode in 5.
Yes.
Which, while funny, did not exactly produce a great story mode.
You did not succeed in telling a good story, but you succeeded in giving us a good laugh.
I want to see what else this writer has done, because I noticed he was like an English name, so it's not
Really?
just someone in Japan. It's probably some fan from the States.
Wow, that's amazing.
It feels like you need someone who's not directly involved with the games but loves them to make a good adaptation.
Right. You need that person who could just do a YouTube channel that's about characters, like, who could just break down every character and explain.
It looks like they're just somebody they hired.
That's
Because like
nuts.
most here, like it's like they've written a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff. They've written stuff for old Avengers cartoons. They've written a bunch of Lego stuff. They've written a bunch of Transformers stuff.
Wow.
They've written like Spider-Man stuff. It seemed what probably happened is that when I get hired to write for an established franchise, I go research it. I do more than read the Wikipedia. I like go experience it, which is a thing that writers used to do before recently when it somehow they decided it was beneath them. Like when the guy when I forget his name, but when the guy who wrote Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, got pegged to write The Wrath of Khan, he's like, okay, I got to watch the whole series. I got to understand what they want me to write.
Yeah, that's an important thing. And it might even be like a combination of that and producers at Namco caring, because there are quite a few like Tekken producers, Harada. God, I forget the other guy's name.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
they're all in the credits. It's like maybe they're actually watching,
Right? Because like we said it before, but it bears repeating. You watch the fights in this Tekken anime, and you're watching a round of Tekken.
yeah,
yes,
It's astounding. All the same lightning effect. Just watching Heihachi whip the shit out of Jin is magical.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. I've been there. I've lived that. This made me get really excited over the prospect of a Tekken 8, because while I love 7, I would love it if it had way less input lag and looked sharper. And I'm like, man, if I can get that in a new story mode that's like better, because while the story mode in 7 is really good, it has that like kind of like journalist vignette sort of thing, that framing device that kind of drags it down. But 7 has absolutely amazing moments as a fan. Speaking of which, very hyped when they did this is how it looked when Kazuya Heihachi fought the second time. The volcano. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's just like that happened, and it wasn't even like the fact that they flashed back to the Heihachi Kazuya fight in the volcano, and it was just par for this anime.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, obviously that's what the last King of Iron Fist looked like.
That's how that shit looked like. Yeah. Would you believe it? Because you should. Anyways, good luck, kid. Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. Also, the fucking storyline of, and then Heihachi, the Mishima Zaibatsu, DMCA'd the match off of the internet.
yes.
Oh my god, was it 5 or 7 that opened with the Gunjacks fighting Heihachi and Kazuya?
5.
It was 5, yeah, no, like that's what we need next
I think
season.
it's also in 7.
It is in 7 as a flashback, as a playable moment, and it's so good.
Yeah, that's
we need Raven in the helicopter.
Yes.
And the army of Gunjacks.
Oh God, Raven.
Everybody's seen the like the Studio Dean Tekken movie, right?
Which one is that?
That's the animated one where
Okay.
where he throws Kazuya off a cliff.
No, I only watch live action anime adaptations.
Which I'm trying to think, because I saw the old Tekken movie where they fought raptors on the island, and then there was that newer one where that random kid got ripped as shit.
There's only been 2 prior animated ones. There was the Tekken the Motion Picture, which is what I'm talking about, and there's Tekken Blood Vengeance from 2011, which was like a CG thing, and I think stars Xiao Yu, I think, is the main character of that one.
Yeah, I think
I
Zhao
think you're
Yu
right,
and
yeah.
some random dude.
I did watch that.
Yeah, we watched that together. It was
because
bad.
I had to buy that Tekken hybrid PS3 game.
Yeah, it was the Tekken Tag 2 hybrid, right?
Yeah, it came with Tekken Tag 1 and a remake of Tekken 2 or something. It was weird. It was a really weird set.
Well, Tekken 2 would have been new around then, so it would have been it came with Tekken, or you're saying a remake of 2?
Yeah,
regular 2. Okay,
but sorry, Phil, you were talking about the older one.
I was just saying like that was also good. So Tekken has like a really strong like track record with anime, not with other things like live action.
The live action movie is so close to being good, but it gets in the weeds and those horrible ways where they have to make the Tekken universe some weird authoritarian government.
Yeah, which Tekken 7 kind of picks up with.
Yes, but it's the movie is set at the when 3 should be happening, and it's not when 7's happening, so it's a mess.
yeah.
I didn't know that Ogre was a character.
Oh, really?
I was kind of stunned to be like, man, Capcom sure fucking stole him for Street Fighter V, huh? They basically made the exact same character again, right down to looking for strong guys.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're having a tournament of strong guys and you need someone to find them.
I don't remember if they even say at all, even in the manual or anything, what the deal with Ogre is in 3. Like, I think he's the god of martial arts. And like he's awakening, so Heihachi's like, time for the King of Iron Fist tournament. Winner gets to go fight God.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned to me once that he's an alien.
What?
That would be hilarious.
I would, but I thought he like just awakened, or maybe I just assumed that because he's all Aztec looking.
Yeah, there's that guy. What is it in 6? They do have like an ancient Egyptian demon.
Oh
they?
Yeah, 6 does have that bizarre angle.
Yeah, that shit rules.
I didn't know Tekken was this goofy.
Oh yeah. No, it rules.
Like, I knew there was goofy stuff, but I didn't know, like, okay, there's a demon, like a crystal dragon Aztec demon called Azazel.
Yep, that's the Tekken 6 thing.
It's a beautiful mix of all of these fighting styles are completely realistic, and we've painstakingly like made all of this balanced and neutral. And look over there. There's True Ogre. He's a bear with a boa constrictor for an arm, and he's half as hard to fight as regular Ogre.
Yes.
True Ogre is crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking rule. I couldn't believe. I was like, oh, this is a real goofy ass series, huh? When he turned into that for Gene to fight him, and people are doing like arm bars on this giant fucking monster.
Yes. Like you play 3 and like you fight your way through the arcade mode, and then you beat Heihachi, and then you go in the temple and you fight Ogre, and then you're in the darkness and True Ogre erupts out and fire comes out of that snake.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like, I won a round. Yay. Oh no.
When someone actually did the armbar on him, I was just astonished they actually put that into animation.
Right.
That means people are brave.
Yes.
Exactly. I think it's obvious from the way we're gushing about this that it's pretty friggin' good, you guys.
Absolutely gobsmacked. I went in braced for this.
That's fair. It's
Same.
a Netflix anime.
Same. I did not expect. I expected way more filler. I expected terrible off-model Tekken fights. I expected characters to not be fully authentic, but it's like all of them are faithful to their original character.
Didn't expect the triangle shadow thing.
That is a weird choice.
I know. I'm like, oh, this is like Jeff Keighley lighting at opening night live. Contain Ogre, call Bosconovich, don't bother, he's already dead.
I was a little sad we didn't
moment.
get to see him trying to contain Ogre.
I'm still mad they put Yoshimitsu on the roster and he just didn't show up, not even in a background shot.
Yeah, because even Kuma showed up in a shot. One. He didn't do anything.
Same with martial law. It's just like, hey, he's going to be here.
Right?
No.
Martial Law was the first character I learned to cheese a fighting game with, because he would do a double backflip kick, and Tekken 3's AI below hard would just not deal with that.
What wasn't there something very recently about like the family of Bruce Lee not liking all these?
Oh, that was just speculation from a composer.
Oh, just okay.
Yeah, and in fact, he got blacklisted because of that.
Which law was in the anime?
I think that was Marshall. I don't think it was Forrest.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I assume the anime is just going to delete Forrest because the games do. They're like, yeah, he got in a car accident and will never be back.
Oh no. But yeah, the that composer was just floating theories for why they wouldn't use that again, and I think that was Fei Long for Street Fighter, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So what happened was Capcom was not happy about that when all the fucking journalists are like, this is why it's not happening. And he's like, I fucking hate game journalists.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is not what that conversation was. They fed me the question.
As it turns out that Fei Long's not in the games anymore because no one thinks he's interesting.
What? No.
You mean people don't like a guy with pants?
Oh my God.
Basically Jin Kazama.
It's a guy with pants guy.
No, but he also has spiky hair and he has arm guard.
We got the backstory for the flame pants. I never expected that. Never. Not in a million years.
Good.
That was so good. It was unbelievably good. That's a good way to describe this. Very unexpectedly good anime. I came in gritting my teeth, preparing for 3 hours of bullshit I would be upset about for a while. Just like, they're going to do something to Kazuya. They're going to make him say something, and I'm going to be mad. It's like, nope, they stay true to him. Him and Heihachi fucking hate each other.
Is Heihachi's assistant, like the attendant he always has, in the games at all, or is she made up for this? Does anyone know?
I can't remember her
I
name.
I spend most of the time going, why are you not one of the Williams sisters?
That was a little weird, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think a different Williams sister comes in for the next season?
They showed Anna Williams in the background for one
They
of them.
did.
Yeah, she was in the thing.
Didn't she beat
takes
Kuma?
them
Or?
I think that she got beat by Kuma. Maybe not.
Yeah, Paul beat Kuma.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Paul Penis. I'm sorry, I couldn't get out of a fucking Tekken podcast without one. This is the best Podlord name.
She got defeated by Huarang.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Off screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a big Hwarong main when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I fucking love this anime.
Yes. Yeah, no, this I feel like is not only incredibly faithful to the game series. So if you like Tekken at all, you owe it to yourself to watch this. Like, absolutely. But it just works on its own because it is so well paced.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't spend it too long navel gazing on tropes we've seen a billion times before. You know, we don't spend forever with Jin like mulling over various details. Like, he thinks about stuff. He thinks about Heihachi and whether or not he can trust him and other things like that. But we don't spend tens of minutes on these things.
Yeah, he thinks about stuff and then starts punching a pole.
Exactly.
One thing I should say that was weird, Julia Chang's pendant that detects spirits.
That detects ogres.
Did fucking nothing in this story.
Oh, he's here.
Like, Heihachi pulls it out
Here's the doorbell.
he hears ogre coming.
It's a doorbell. Ding dong. Oh, he's here.
It's just there to force an interaction at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why she's here. Like, that's why she's there in Tekken 3. So I guess they have her like, well, the pendant has to be there.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing, I think, the thing I applaud it for is that at no point did they go, you know, because Jin's having that talk with her. And she's like, but I'm here to get my pendant back. And he doesn't go, I can't win now because she wants her pendant. Or, I can't win now because King needs the money. And I was like, thank you for using your brain. You can have it when I'm done.
Actually, I had no idea. Like, it feels said that pendant's in 3. I got to believe him because Julia was the most confusing character for me in 3.
Yeah.
Because you win with her and, like, some other lady shows up and she's like, good job, Julia. Now we can go back to our home in North Dakota or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just her like, yeah.
Yeah.
I intended to watch every Tekken 3 outro before we did this, but I forgot to.
I used to do that all the fucking time. It's a great way to spend an afternoon.
It is. Absolutely. Those Tekken outros are some of the best in gaming.
Yeah, they have really
Watch
good
Tiger
endings.
3 times.
It's absolutely nuts because, you know, I really got into fighting games with Street Fighter Alpha 3. Like, I played Mortal Kombat 2, sure, but I really got into engaging with fighting games in Street Fighter Alpha 3. Those endings pale in comparison to Tekken endings so bad.
Yes.
They are just dog shit in comparison, where it's like, we're going to just have an image of Ryu and he's going to be like, I'm going to morb.
Fighting games be like, learn to use different characters. Like, why? Well, don't you want to attain mastery? No. We'll show you a kick-ass 20-second CG movie. Deal.
Don't you want to see this fucking panda run an office at fucking Heihachi's Mishima Zaibatsu? I do, actually, yeah. That sounds great. Don't you want to see Lee Chaolan in a mankini being a manservant? I do, actually. Thank you.
You want to see this fat redneck get famous and then skinny and then fat again?
Yes. That fucking moment of Bob losing all the weight. Everyone's just like, who the fuck are you? He's like, no.
Shit, who all trains in Forest Gym? It's him and Martial Law and Paul Phoenix, and
I think there's one more character.
somebody else trains with him.
Yeah. You know, I sat there for a bit and I was like, Alpha 1, does Street Fighter Alpha 1 have Ryu go evil? Is that a thing in Alpha 1? And if not, then which fighting game series started to do that? What if good character go evil?
Huh.
Because they both did it at basically the same time. Like, it was the same era.
Right.
PS1 fighting game era. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know anything about Tekken, really, their story at least.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know very basic stuff. I clapped really hard when Jin uses his mom's moves against Heihachi to own him at the end.
It is good.
Kazama treachery.
It is really good because it's just like, you need to surprise your enemy. And it's like, okay, I'll just not use these moves for 4 years straight.
Getting my absolute ass kicked every day.
That'll get him.
And then I'll do the really cool flip kick.
I just really want to play Tekken now. And I think that's the appropriate response to your show should have.
Yeah. You did it correctly. I want more of this show, and I want to play Tekken. You did. That is exactly what I want. Meanwhile, we finished Dragon's Dogma, and I'm like, I'm not sure I ever want to see that game.
Yeah, right? And that's a fair response.
God, what a botch.
and yeah, I still think it's better than fucking Monster Hunter. Because that was rough, too.
That was nothing. That was just...
Remember that time we were in the White Void?
I mean, God, honestly, yeah, for either of those, I would rather have that entire runtime dedicated to watching Lei Wulan just do paperwork at his desk.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Oh, yeah, we didn't have him. Mm-hmm. That's sad.
It's Tekken. There are too many great characters to cram into this anime.
Which they did it. I think that's part of why I give them a pass on deleting people off screen, because it's like they had 6 episodes. They handled an amazing amount of characters. They were super faithful to all of them. They did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that doesn't hurt it. It's just, there's just too much good.
There's just too much. Tekken's just, if there's one problem with Tekken, it's that it's too good.
We need more of this, and we need them to go further and do a Soul Calibur one.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I need them to be canonically crossed over because Yoshimitsu and Heihachi are in both series.
That is true.
Isn't the one Yoshimitsu in Soul Calibur like the far ancestor of the one in Tekken?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Yoshimitsu title's like handed down, not even to a like as bloodline. It's just a person.
Like you're the coolest person who uses this style of ninjutsu or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
You got the Sharingan. Here you go. Yeah, no, it's as much as I'm popping off for this, if you did a really great Soul Calibur series, that would break me down as a person.
I'm now imagining Heihachi with Nightmare.
Yeah, I guess that you could do a really good True Line story with Siegfried. Like, there's no other. That is absolutely the basis of that franchise.
Yeah, and I mean, not only that, like they also have a rich cast of characters that all have different motivation and stuff that I feel is really strong.
Yeah,
like
the having the Soul Edge be there is like a constant that a lot of people are concerned about. Works.
Yeah.
And the Soul Calibur cast naturally lends itself more toward an anime adaptation because there's so many more characters with giant tits.
Yeah. No, that's true. The problem is I've seen Soul Calibur 6 and now the anime will have to match up to that, and there's no chance. No chance. Speaking of which, that you'll get like what, 3, 4, 5 if you do every game good seasons out of that, or 4, I guess, and then you get to the 5th season and you go, we're skipping 5. We're done now. Good day.
I can't wait for season 4 when Star Killer shows up.
That's gonna be raw. He's gonna drop a fucking spaceship on fucking Siegfried.
This is a jackknife back to Tekken, but when do they do the season that adapts Death by Degrees?
I don't know. Maybe that's the spin-off anime.
still have to play that awful game.
Yeah, that game's coming for us.
Nina Williams showed up in this anime. I'm like, she's taking up a slot, but I get it. She's core cast.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is why it was so good when she touched it.
Yes. I was like, good, they get it. She's here by obligation.
My God, she's a trained killer. Yeah, and she's going up against Nina Williams.
I would love to see them do more because I want to see what the heck is up with her backstory. It apparently is super weird, and she's somehow Steve's mother. I want to know how you write that.
Wait, Nina Williams is Steve's mother?
Yeah. The timeline doesn't make any sense, and I'm very confused, and I want to know.
I really would have appreciated Marduk getting screen time.
Because he is super important to that King story.
Also, he's Marduk.
Fair.
Once again, I would like him and Dragunov. I think they would add some spice to this that I would appreciate.
Fang Wei would have been completely random and not constructed to the story, but I like playing Fang Wei. So.
Didn't they show him in like some of the pictures or something?
Did they?
I think that there was some thing where they're like, oh, there's these other fighters, and they show him, and I'm like, well, that's great.
He got beaten off screen too.
Oh,
yeah.
wait. Let me make sure I'm not confusing two characters.
Bum, 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 bum.
No, it was Fang Wei's master they showed.
Oh, I can't believe you would mix up 2 of the 57 characters in Tekken, you fucking stooge.
There's a lot more character than that in Tekken.
There are so many characters in Tekken, it rules.
Yeah,
but I
it's
feel
insane.
bad every time they have to make a new one.
Wang Jinrei is the guy that gets off-screened.
Let me see.
No, there's him, but I could have sworn they showed Fang, yeah. Maybe I'm going crazy. Yeah,
really,
I could have sworn they showed him.
Really, the solution is we play some Tekken.
Obviously.
That's obviously the solution here.
When's Mokujin? When are they going to bring him into the anime?
Right.
They shouldn't even explain it. Just be like, no, he's here.
Didn't one of the games have like an army of Mokujin?
Yeah, that's in one of the endings. Yeah. I think Panda will come in and make up for Kuma. And
Definitely.
What happened with them this time?
Panda is always the superior skin.
Yes,
to
of
Kuma.
course. Because Panda runs the office. Hits the button that drops the employees into the floor.
God, I'm so excited to see animated Jack.
Yeah, 100%. I need Gun Jack for sure. He's so huge.
I need a couple different Gunjack iterations on screen at the same time.
So I'm a fucking idiot. You could, I got the Tekken 5 intro. I got fucking Tekken 7 reliving the Tekken 5 intro where the Jacks attack. The anime does it again. I'm going to pop off again. It's just one of the coolest fucking things ever.
Absolutely.
Then you get the cutout to Blade watching it happen.
Right. It's like one of the coolest things ever because it's like you dropped 17 tyrants on the Mishimas, basically, because Gunjack's basically the same concept. And they just go in and it's like, okay, we're going to fight them off. Fuck these guys. We're this cool.
They need to, if they're backporting people, they need to backport Fakum Ram from Tekken 7, the guy who's just Jack Hammer from Baki.
God, that dude. I still need to play as him because I bought that season pass and never played him.
The guy who's I think his official height is 7'2" or something insane.
It was weird to watch a Tekken thing and people are all speaking English.
It was strange.
Because I was like, this is weird. Because one of my favorite things about Tekken is, especially as they go on, Tekken 7 and stuff, they're still just speaking their own languages at each other, and everyone's like some polymath, multilingual super god.
Star Wars rules apply.
I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I watched the sub, and the new Heihachi's pretty good. Since the old voice actor passed on, the new one does a pretty great job.
I wish that they were better about... I don't think they got Paul's English voice back, because I don't think that that's the same dude. And most of the stuff didn't bother me in English, but for some reason, Heihachi he wasn't extreme and gruff enough for me. It was still good. I got used to it.
Yeah.
But it could have been...
It was an interesting choice. And yeah, he did grow into it.
Yeah.
Jameson Price has been Paul Phoenix since 2009.
Which is great.
Anime.
Yeah,
okay,
he is.
okay.
Yeah, he is really Jameson Price in this anime.
He is. For some reason,
it could just be it was a little bit different.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't register that was Jameson Price when I played the games, because usually he's just yelling,
crazy
things.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I mostly think of him doing a fist pump motion and going, yeah, and that's it.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm flashing back, and that's all I can pull up. I'm sorry. That's all the files we have in the archive. Somebody must have deleted the file from the archive.
Someone deleted the file from the archive memory. I don't know why I turned into Dobo. I don't know why.
That seems appropriate. I don't know.
Man, it was pretty cool when Dobo showed up in Star Wars.
I want to see the anime version of the Asuka Kazama / Lily.
Mm-hmm. Lillian or Lily?
I think it's Lily, the white hair weirdo.
Yeah.
Weird German princess looking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see that.
Oh, yeah, no, we need to get 5 Dark Resurrection. We need that animated fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need Dark Resurrection because that's the one that has Eddie instead of Christy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Tekken 4, we just skip it except for the part where Kazuya comes back.
No, it's great. We skip 4, okay? And then we do 5, and then we do 5 Dark Resurrection.
It's like we're not leaving.
We're just going to keep doubling down on this one. It's like if they did a Street Fighter anime and they were like, then we did 3 times. 1 for every edition.
It is really funny that we have to, if they were to do this for Street Fighter, you don't do it in the order of the games because that's lying.
Yeah, that's true. You got to start with Alpha, so I'm pretty invested.
Yes.
Then you go to 2, so I'm less invested. Then you go to 3, and I'm super invested.
No, you're going with 4, actually.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
And
that's
5,
right.
and
Yeah,
then
you go
3.
to... that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, I feel like we could probably cut out Sass and everything that happens in 5.
Bob, let me tell you about Street Fighter.
We're getting into some like end of Z Dragon Ball canon knifing here.
Where does the line go? Not in order.
Okay, we gotta cut out Moro the Planet Eater. That's so good.
Well, guys, it's about time we wrap this up. Dr. Agro, would you recommend Tekken Bloodline?
I reckon I would. If you played Tekken, you'll love it. If you haven't played Tekken, I want to see what you think.
Yeah, hopefully you get Tekken pilled by this.
Right?
I think it'll be the best thing for you. Tekken Bloodline. It'll put hair on your chest if you want that. Chris Wolfhard, would you recommend Tekken Bloodline?
Yes, I barely know anything about Tekken, and it was still delightful to watch.
Bob, would you recommend Tekken Bloodline?
Yeah, I mean, like we said, it's probably the best fighting game to anime adaptation ever.
Yeah. At this point, I feel motivated to go watch all of the rest of them just so I can say it if it's true, right? Like just to be certain.
Time to watch Battle Arena Toshinden at 3 a.m.
Yes.
Oh God, that's real.
There's a lot of fighting game adaptations.
I just flashed back to having an anime DVD of Samurai Showdown upstairs, and I'm like, I never watched it.
Bob's like, oh no.
90s OVAs were a lawless wasteland.
This does not exclusively mean anime. I will have to watch the Mortal Kombat cartoon.
No. I didn't know, I didn't know that cartoon existed until recently. I had no idea that it was like a Mortal Kombat Saturday morning cartoon. I knew about the animated movie Defenders of the Realm.
Yes. But yeah, I actually watched that cartoon.
I did not know that there was a normal cartoon.
Yeah, I watched the cartoon too, and it was like, wow, this is really tame compared to the games. That's very strange.
I wasn't allowed to play Mortal Kombat as a kid because of there was blood.
But Vector Man was okay.
Yeah.
Dan, what is that?
Don't worry about it.
Wikipedia doesn't show anything for a Vector Man.
I too would recommend Tekken Bloodline. I think it's a great anime, probably better than the Mortal Kombat cartoon, but don't want to assume.
High bars are being set over there.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it really picks up halfway through. People are like, are you propping up next year's terrible bit podcast series? And I'm like, no, I am not. Do not believe that. Scares me whenever people start to think that's what I'm doing in these.
The Mortal Kombat TV show versus the Street Fighter TV show.
we put how many different webisode series for Mortal Kombat are there?
Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of Weeaboots. Go to our Patreon. Goodbye. This month's GigaBoots videos were brought to you by the continued support of our executive producers, such as Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Burning Pepsi Man, Adam Admar, Cooper Tank, and Virmvarm. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these gamers. If you want to support GigaBoots so we can continue the content crunch, then head on over to patreon.com/GigaBoots today.